Hello and welcome to this episode of Ritter's Rant. Today we're going to talk about coercion. Yeah, that's a bad word. And the context that I'll be addressing it, it's a bad thing. But let's start off with the good news. The good news is that Brian Mast, yes, that pro-Israeli representative from Florida, the former Army soldier who lost two legs in a IED incident in Afghanistan, went on to recover, and then for some reason decided he was going to volunteer and go to Israel and serve as a volunteer in the Israeli Defense Force, serve another country, and then come back and run for Congress. And then after October 7th, 2023, had the absolute gall to put on an Israeli uniform in the people's house and call himself an American patriot. Yeah, that guy. He had been putting together a bill that, basically challenges free speech, seeks to punish people for speaking out against the Israeli crimes that are taking place in Gaza today. And one of the things he was trying to do is in this bill, the guy's an idiot because apparently he hasn't read the Constitution or he read it too late, but he was going to pass a law, that's an important concept here, that authorized the Secretary of State, that's Marco Rubio, to seize the passports of any U.S. citizen who spoke out against Israel or engaged in, conversations that could be deemed to be hateful by the Trump administration, by Marco Rubio himself. The First Amendment of the Constitution is quite clear. Congress shall pass no laws. That's a big one, Brian, you moron. Congress shall pass no laws that infringe on or abridge the free speech right of Americans or freedom of the press. Moreover, there's other laws that prevent the United States from arbitrarily denying people the right to travel, freedom of movement. The Marco Rubio cannot go and take your passport for no reason or for a reason that violates constitutional rights. These cases have been tried and prevailed. There was a while back when the United States seized the passport of an activist who was traveling to the Soviet Union. And for 10 years, he fought to get his passport back. And finally, the Supreme Court of the United States said that the United States government can't do this. They had to return the passport, and they did. They tried it for a year with me, took my passport, got it back. This provision was dropped. This provision was dropped because it's so blatantly unconstitutional. So that's the good news. The bad news is there's still coercion taking place. What we're seeing right now is some reporting from Max Blumenthal and others. Candace Owens is talking about it, about apparent pressure being placed on Charlie Kirk by Bill Ackerman, a billionaire hedge fund manager, and others, because Charlie Kirk started to speak out against this. Now, we're getting two narratives. Ackerman's coming out and saying, nah, that's not what happened. Everything was hunky-dory, holding hands, singing Kumbaya, all friendly. Old Charlie's a good friend of Israel. Don't worry about it. But other people are saying, no, it was a shouting match and intimidation, and that Kirk left the meeting feeling intimidated, feeling that, if he didn't, line himself up with Israel, that he could lose funding, and he could feel threatened in other ways. Tucker Carlson has spoken about pressure being placed on him the same way. So is Megyn Kelly, another right-wing or conservative talk show host, who says that she too has been pressured by the pro-Israeli lobby to conform or lose money or be deplatformed or worse. Look, this is a story. It's old as time. I was given a $6 million bribe offer by Paul Wolfowitz, of all people, a huge part of the pro-Israeli lobby. All I had to do was say Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and Israel is great. And I had guaranteed employment, guaranteed book contracts, guaranteed speaking engagements, the whole works. I didn't do it, and gosh, you see what happened to me. So there are consequences to be paid by telling the Israeli lobby no. how are they going to stop? How are we going to put an end to this? Yes, the Constitution gives us certain protections, and yes, it becomes obvious when Congress seeks to overstep the lines, as Brian Mast was seeking to do. But as long as we put people like Brian Mast into office, we're going to be susceptible to this pressure. As long as we allow people like Ted Cruz to be a senator in the state of Texas, a man who said, I became a senator because I wanted to serve Israel, not America, Israel. This will continue to happen. And now, we have Charlie Kirk, who apparently was having second thoughts about Israel, about the genocide taking place, about the blind support that America provides. And he's dead. I'm not saying Israel did it. No evidence has been put forward that suggests that is the case. But look at what's happening. Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's platform for influencing people. Ben Shapiro, a pro-Israeli American Jew, is saying he's going to take it over. I'm going to pick up Charlie Kirk's bloody microphone, he said. And apparently Ben Shapiro, a Jew who once said Jesus was a fraud, Jesus was a fake, is now going to go out there and preach the Christian ethic. Do you see what's happening here? You see what's happening. This is how the Zionists take control of the narrative. Charlie Kirk is barely put in the ground, and we got Ben Shapiro talking about how he's going to pick up the mantle of conservative Christianity and lead the charge. Lead the charge where? Well, straight to the bank for Israel, apparently, because that's what the Zionist lobby does. This will continue until which time we, the people of the United States, put an end to it. I'm not promoting anti-Semitism at all. I'm not saying to do anything to restrict the right of American Jews to worship the way they want to. They have the same rights as Christians, Muslims, everybody. Our Constitution gives people the freedom of religion, that same First Amendment, by the way, and everybody has a right to it. And I believe that if anybody seeks to hold the American Jewish community accountable for what the Zionists are doing in Gaza, that this has to be stopped. And I will be the first to line up to protect my local synagogues or local Jewish community centers, to protect the rights of all Jewish Americans to live their lives in peace, to live their lives with the same freedoms that we all enjoy. This isn't about being anti-Jewish. This is about being anti-Zionist, about denying people like Ben Shapiro the ability to come in and capture, whatever vehicle of influence that exists. And in this case, the irony of a Jewish Zionist who hates Christians has come out and called them frauds, saying that he's going to pick up the bloody microphone of a right-wing Christian man and say, I'm going to lead this charge. I will do a better job of being a Christian than a Christian does. That's the ridiculousness of the Zionist platform, but it's what it is. They put pressure on people. They step in. They bring money. They bring influence. They blind people. They lull them into a false sense of complacency. They do it through the media. They do it through movies. They do it through influence. They do it through hedge funds. They do it through academia. And the bottom line is they seize control of the narrative machine to make sure that the only message the American people hear is a pro-Israeli message, which in this case means pro-genocide, because there is an active, ongoing genocide taking place in Gaza today. It's not me saying it. The United Nations Human Rights Commission has come out and said it straight up. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? Don't be afraid. They can't take your passport. They can't put you in jail. You're protected by the Constitution. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. So don't be afraid. Stand up. Do the right thing. Don't worry about being deplatformed. It's our job to deplatform the Zionists. So let's get to work. That's my rant. Next time a thought crosses my mind, I'll be sure to let you know.